Straight after Kent tonight, we've got a brand new episode of Kent Film Club, where we look at the impact certain films have had on our guests' lives. Well, joining me now is the show's presenter, Deacy. Chris, thank you for joining us, as always. And you've recently been to a premiere in Kent, haven't you? So tell us a bit about that. That sounds exciting.
No, it was exciting because it's a film called Occupied. Now, it was made in Kent, but set during the Second World War, during the Nazi occupation of the Channel Islands. Made on a fairly low budget. Actually, one of my previous guests on Kent Film Club, Duncan Woodruff, who's a local actor. Now, he invited me to the premiere. He was so modest, he didn't tell me that actually he plays the lead role in this. Because this was the film I went thinking, this is the premiere, I know nothing about it, I couldn't read any reviews in advance. What a really tight, tense drama.
You must have been really shocked when you saw your friend in it then.
Well, absolutely. and it was incredible because he does a lot of like martial arts training and fight choreography as well as being an actor. But an amazing film, and really shocking because it really brought home the impact of the war on the lives of ordinary people and questions around treachery and loyalty, and looking at it from the point of view of the German soldiers within a Channel Islands context. So I was really impressed by that. It's called Occupied. I just hope it gets a good distribution.
Wow, well, look at you going to premieres. How exciting.
Be the red carpet next.
I know it will, won't it? So what should we be watching at the moment? What sort of films are trending? What have you been enjoying recently?
Well, there's the film Challenges, which is a very three-way relationship. Zendaya, Josh O'Connor. I mean, really good film, which does a lot of, like the game of tennis, back and forth over people's lives. It's like those films like Bull Durham, where it's about sport but not about sport. It's about the relationship dramas underneath our lives, sort of what's going on, in this case in the court, what's taking place off the court. So I really like that. John DeBarry, I saw that Johnny Depp film, which is out at the moment. Lots of films like that, period set. Another film set in the 19th century, which is called Kidnapped, which is very much around some of the great debates around Catholicism and the Jewish community in France and Italy, at the time of the 19th century. So lots of things out at the moment. The Amy Winehouse film as well. I've seen a couple of films as well, which are older films, which are back on the big screen, like 2001: A Space Odyssey. I was blown away. I saw that in Blue Water after our conversation last week, and it really had.
Is it different watching it now when you've watched it a while ago and then re-watching it?
Well, I was talking to one, actually, Paul March Russell, a former guest on the programme, who said that he saw that in Herne Bay when he was very young, and it really impacted on him. He does a lot of work in sci-fi, and I was thinking the same thing, because watching it on TV when you're younger, then watching it on the big screen, it's a completely different experience.
Yeah,
so
because you'll take different things away from it, won't you? When you've grown up a little bit, and. Yeah, the other thing I wanted to ask, so how big do you think that the film industry is in Kent as well? When you talk about the film premiere that's in Kent, it's exciting that we've got these sort of things coming to Kent, isn't it?
Well, there was also the film about the local swimmer. It's one of those stories that are untold. When you watch films sometimes which are sort of going back over events in history, Kidnapped did the same thing, but things about which we know very little. And so they're films which are trying to say, often from the point of view of a female character, and say history has written these people out, but films today, often set in Kent, are very good at trying to recalibrate that and try to do a bit of historical revisionism.
It's nice to see Kent on the big screen.
It's exciting to see it on the big screen. So even a film that's not set in Kent is made in Kent using Kent locations, and that I think is where a lot of the future of filmmaking is going to be. And
very quickly, what's coming up in Kent Film Club tonight?
So we have a wonderful guest called Charlie Titmus, and he's chosen films as varied as The Iron Giant and also Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, incredible. Well, Chris, thank you so much for joining us. Very interesting.
Thank you, Sophia.
As always.